Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Strife's Talking Points. And in this episode, I'm going to cover something much more tragic than a lot of my more recent stories. And as always, I'd like to say, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Another way to have a conversation is to have feedback from people in the comments, likes, dislikes, whatever. It always helps me kind of understand how people view these types of issues. And last week, just a few days ago, there was a stabbing at Peoria, Arizona, at a convenience store where a young man was murdered by another man for apparently listening to rap music. And I want to tell you, first off, this story is very difficult to cover and to understand because of how let's just call it, the horrible person did this to this kid who was, for all intents, accounts, in any way possible, did not deserve this to happen. But how we look at our systems and of law and order and overall justice. From the Associated Press, outrage over killing of a black teen over rap music complaint. Phoenix, Associated Press, hundreds of people, including a presidential candidate, spoke out on Twitter this week after a 17-year-old black youth was killed at a suburban convenience store, allegedly by a white man charged Tuesday with first-degree murder, who said he felt threatened by the boys' rap music. I believe this type of threat where non-action is considered violent by people is coming to the forefront of all of our news, all of our information, where music or speech or writing or anything that someone doesn't like is now being considered violent or threatening. And for myself, I can't imagine being threatened by music or something somebody wrote down that's not directly actively calling for some type of violent action. And this man who is charged with murder, I don't want to say the word crazy or insane, but homicidal, very much a violent act, and just something that is horrible and tragic to happen. Family members have told local media that Elijah Al-Amin, who would have turned 18 in 2 weeks, was looking forward to his last year in high school. Friends and family hugged Monday at the Islamic Community Center in Tempe, where prayers for the teen were held before burial in Maricopa County. Again, this is something that's just horribly tragic, and it is just, I have a son, and it's really difficult to kind of go through this type of thing, knowing that people like this attacker exist. They're out there, they're real things, they're real threats, and there is just no way of knowing, honestly, where they are. The Maricopa County Attorney's Office said it filed direct complaint Tuesday, charging Michael Adams, 27, in the Thursday morning killing, first-degree murder that carries a sentence of life behind bars or death. Adams is next scheduled to appear in court July 15th, and this Twitter hashtag, JusticeforElijah, there's no possible way of getting justice for the family after a murder like this. It is all about action and punishment, and this is horrible. And as we go through kind of what I've been able to glean from the story, from these articles, you'll see that, of course, immediately the game is he said, she said, and really it should be strictly focused on the family grieving and moving the case forward to punish the criminal. All right. The Twitter hashtag JusticeforElijah began trending over the Independence Day weekend after police in the suburban Phoenix city of Peoria Peoria, arrested Adams. He had been released from state prison 2 days before. So this man had been in prison, I believe, from what I've read, it was a 13-month term, and he had been released basically on his own recognizance. There's been some, and I'll show it here in a little bit, about them talking about mental health issues, all these other things. And when I see stories like this, honestly, to me, I believe that if someone has any type of mental health issue, they need to be diagnosed, they need to be treated, or they need not be released. If there's any way to restructure our justice system, our crime and punishment system, where instead of just throwing people in prison in this little cell for a year, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, whatever it is, they could actually go through and try and rehabilitate people, I believe that would be the greatest benefit to our society as a whole. Another, and this is from Cory Booker, another one of our children have been murdered in a heinous and unprovoked way. The DOJ must investigate this hate crime immediately, Democratic candidate Cory Booker wrote on Twitter Monday, because Cory Booker and Linda Sarsour, a Palestinian civil rights activist from Brooklyn, New York, called the crime outrageous. And she recalled the 2012 killing of a 17-year-old high school student, Jordan Davis, in Jacksonville, Florida. All right, so of course you have political people who are vying for attention, getting in on this. This does not need to be politicized. This is pretty well cut and dry. A man was released from prison for aggravated assault, and he had been in for a couple other crimes, which I'll go over. And 2 days later, he commits premeditated, violent murder of a kid at a gas station. And then his own information is he told police. Sorry, I'm looking for the other story. Sorry, I gotta scroll up just a little bit. And here's Adams said people who listen to rap music are a danger to the community. This is what the man said. And this is from Hannah Critch. I believe she's... however, they indicate Adams may not have specified... They do indicate Adams may have specified blacks, Hispanics, or Native Americans as people who listen to rap music. Detective LeBron conducted a post-Miranda interview with Adams. Adams stated the victim was listening to rap music in the parking lot, though his victim's vehicle's radio. Adams stated rap music makes him feel unsafe because in the past he has been attacked by people, I'm going to skip this part, who listen to rap music. Adams further stated people who listen to rap music are a threat to him and the community. I'm not sure this person, let's just state this. I don't believe that mental illness is a good defense when someone commits a heinous crime. I want to make that very clear. That's a personal belief. I don't think that should be allowed to get you off of a crime or to lessen sentencing. I believe that a homicidal person who kills someone, who says I was insane, they should still face the full term or sentencing, and they should receive help while they're in prison for their homicidal nature, for their mental illness. Don't believe you should be able to receive a pass because you're mentally unstable. I do believe that we're going to see more and more of this come about, and the insanity defense, the I was crazy defense, just I don't believe they should work. Maricopa County Form 4 records do not indicate Michael Paul Adams, who police reported confessing to the crime, as mentally disturbed at the time of his arrest. Here we go. Second part here. Adams had been arrested multiple times before, including for attacking others with a deadly weapon. According to court records found by Fox 10, Adams was arrested twice before for attacking strangers with a deadly weapon. Adams had just served more than 2 years for aggravated assault. Sorry, I thought it was 13 months. It's 2 years. And removing a theft detection device. I believe this term goes back to shoplifting. He had been released from Arizona State Prison Complex on Tuesday when the crime occurred less than 2 days later, the Phoenix News reported. Now, I went to this story here to see if I could find any information. And the only thing they have here, and this is the actual Fox 10 Phoenix page, the Arizona Department of Corrections says officers never designated Adams as mentally ill. Court records show he's been arrested for attacking someone with a deadly weapon twice, both strangers. He also assaulted a correctional officer while in jail. Now, the spin that you see on some of this is about tagging it as a hate crime. Under Arizona law, from what I've been able to find, there is no specific... looking for it, don't see it, but there is no hate crime statute in Arizona, but a judge's determination that a hate crime has occurred can toughen sentencing. Adams is next scheduled on July 15th. So there's actually no hate crime, even though Cory Booker and other people, Linda Sarsour, and these people are pushing to say, hey, this is a hate crime. They're mostly looking at it as a black-white thing. I don't even... To me, this person is blatantly evil. I don't know, hate crime or not. This man was just straight up walked into a store because a kid was playing rap music loudly. I can't tell you the number of places I've gone where someone had music blasting and just was wanting them to turn it down, but normal people don't respond like this. This is someone who is troubled, who doesn't care that he killed this kid, who basically confessed. I believe that what I was seeing, he was found just a few blocks away with a knife in his pocket. Here it is. According to detectives, Adams felt threatened by rap music Al-Amin listened to in his car. Adams said anyone who listens to rap is a threat to him and his community. Attorneys said he suffers from mental illness. Now, there's no excuse for this, Ride says. There's not at all. There's no excuse. I don't care that anybody's hiding behind mental illness. There's no excuse. I agree with that statement. Mental illness should not be a defense used for any reason. Period. If, maybe you're a klepto and you steal something, you could find some kind of lessening there if you promise to go to therapy or treatment. But in violent crimes, no. I don't see there should be anything other than just charges. Just get it over with, get these people out of public. And you kind of see, if you go through these stories, you'll see a lot of stuff about, there it is. Police were able to locate and arrest the suspect shortly after arriving at the scene. He was identified as MP Adams, 27. Police believe the boy was inside the store when Adams entered, approached the victim, stabbed him, and the suspect left on foot. Police recovered a weapon upon arresting Mr. Adams. Police did not know the suspect's motive, as police said there is no known relation between the suspect and the victim, other than loud rap music. I really, really hope that we get some type of reform, because it shouldn't be that a person is released from prison on Tuesday and on Thursday they stab someone. Mental illness, violent tendencies, whatever. If we're going to have a criminal justice system, it needs to reform people, needs to get people ready to go back out into the world, and not just stick them in a hole for 2 years and then drop them out and say, good on you, you've served your time, and then immediately come right back. One of the biggest things, if you know anything about the way the judicial system in the U.S. works, or the crime and punishment, is that generally you have people that are arrested for a crime, serve a year, 2 years, and then basically are then indoctrinated in the system, and they continually get arrested and put back in prison over and over and over again. My personal stance on this is our judicial system, as far as how we handle people once sentenced, is broken. It doesn't work. We're developing an underclass of prisoners who just are in and out of the system. And whenever this type of things happen, where someone comes out, commits a horrible, violent crime, that's it. I mean, needs to be some type of treatment to this kid and his family. My condolences. This is horrible. No one should ever have to deal with this. And I hope that, although I'm not a death penalty advocate, I do hope this is life behind bars without parole, that this person never comes out free to do this again, and that maybe we'll actually eventually have some type of reform in our justice system in the way that people in prison are rehabilitated or treated, if they're screened. I mean, we put so much money into our prison system, it's astronomical, and it's just the craziest thing that people go into prison, never diagnosed, never treated, never anything. They're just served their time and released. We need to have something better, because people, kids like this, their families, all of us out there in the U.S. deserve a better system, so that when people come out of prison, this doesn't just happen. This should never happen. And of course, it will, just by the nature of the U.S. and the size and population, there will always be a few, but it should never be this manner where someone's released from prison, 2 days later, they commit murder. This is just horrible. I feel for this kid, his family, all the people that were affected, and this should not be this kid. He should be there. He should be, as I've read in other stories, he should still be putting money away for his car. He should be working the crappy job at Taco Bell. He should be doing all those things he was doing. He should be in high school. He shouldn't be being laid to rest by his family. I'm sorry, this is a horrible story. I just wanted to get it out there that yes, our criminal justice system is failing. Treatment for no, they're just locking people in cells, never getting them any help, and then this stuff happens. And for this kid, for his family, for any person out there who's ever going to have kids, we should try and find a way to fix the system, because this is the absolute worst possible thing that can happen. And as far as the man who did it, never let him out again. That's my comment. Put him away forever. Be done with it. Thank you all for listening, and please like, share, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.